Let me get my charger. Hello everyone. So I have lost my voice this weekend. Just bear with me, okay? Like, we gonna be alright. But yes, I lost my voice. I went to the academy this past Valentine's Day, and Nelly, Ashanti, Mario, some of those people were there, so it was fun. We're plugged in so the phone doesn't die. Okay, so if you guys can understand me, I do apologize again that my voice has been gone since freaking Saturday, whatever. But yeah, today is the first day of the Fire Horse, so we made it. Like, who had a crazy year last year? I can say I did, and I'm just so happy. My voice is so funny. I'm just so happy that I'm in a place now where I see that it was time to let that go and move on. So, but for today, let me get my, hold on. At work, they have like little Starbucks coffees things or whatever. I know it's a chai tea. It helps my throat right now, so whatever. It's pretty good. So pretty much what we're here to do today is figure out exactly what each zodiac sign needs to work on for the year of the Fire Horse. Now, I was born in the year of the horse, and so this year really does feel like a coming home. I feel so energetic and positive in regards to what I will be experiencing this year and embracing what is new to come in my life. And I want you guys to also get into that mindset that if anything was not serving you or anything that needed to end, it actually came to an end. That way you're able to really reap the benefits of the fruit that is going to grow now. So, okay, so we're going to start off. Let me get some people. Yeah, it's selling people. But anyways, we're going to start off with Aries, the beginning of the zodiac. So let's start off with that. So we're going to start shuffling. Hopefully one card comes out because I don't need 1,000 cards. This is quick. We're trying to go through everybody. So Aries, for the Fire Horse here. What is it that you need to work on, okay? What does Aries need to work on in the year of the Fire Horse? Again, if you guys are just tuning in or whatever, I lost my voice because I was partying too hard this past weekend for Valentine's Day. Aries, you got you got Temperance and you got the Queen of Cups. So already this talks about patience. Aries, you need patience. Stop being such a hot-tempered person. Stop being so quick to rush into things without knowing the full picture. You know, taking your time to really balance everything out before you make the first move is definitely something that's going to help you elevate yourself this year. When I see this card, I often think of balancing, obviously, the elements. She has water, or this angel has water, and she's standing in water and on the land. So I always read that as try to balance out your logic and your emotions. And sometimes we have a hard time balancing that out. But for Aries this year and the Fire Horse, I feel like it would benefit you immensely to take the time to lock in with how you feel and what you think and really come to a grounding sense. This is a very grounded energy. And then we also have this now. So you have Cups. So in your love life, I want to say you need to focus on self-love this year, Aries. And I also will say that you need to focus on what makes you happy this year, okay? So altogether, Aries, I'm going to say your goal this year is to focus on what makes you happy, but don't rush into things. It's okay to take your time. I know Aries is the first zodiac sign, and they're always like, Aries is the one to go do it. They're the go-getters. They're the go-getters. It's okay sometimes to not always have that energy of like rushing into things, because then we don't know the full picture. Imagine, I have this image since we're talking about fire horse, running on a horse. You know, how much more can you see if you were walking versus running? Does that make sense? You can miss things when you're moving too fast. And I feel like this year for Aries, it's telling you to slow down and really focus on yourself. If this means like focusing on your self-love, focus on your healing, focus on you, what makes you happy, and build yourself up. Be balanced, be stable. If shit came out like this, then I would tell me like, okay, you really need to work on it because you're emotionally unstable. And I know water is talking about emotions, it talks about love, it talks about those type of things. But seeing that you have the angels holding the cup, it's kind of like divine intervention is telling you to balance this out so that way you can embody this energy. Okay, Aries, my voice, pray for me. Okay, so now we're on, who's next? Who's next? I think it's Gemini. No, it's Taurus. Taurus is next. Okay, Taurus, for the fire horse energy, what is it that you guys need to embody this year? What are things that you guys need to do this year? So, yeah, if you guys don't already know, I do have a TikTok, and I also post videos on YouTube. I'm really starting to get that going. Hold on. It's crazy that I'm trying to do this with a freaking raspy voice like this. But I set my alarms. At 12 o'clock, I want to start going live. So I set the alarm and I was like, okay, I have nothing to do. I have no excuse, right? The only excuse is my voice, but I can still talk. And hopefully you guys can understand me because I normally do not sound like this, I promise. Okay, Taurus, what is it that you need to work on this year? What is the main goal? What is the mission for the year of the fire horse? Oh, you guys got, this is some big Taurus energy. Okay, I like this for you guys. So it's telling you, you know, we got the people on the thrones coming out, okay? But for Taurus, obviously Taurus talks about abundance. Taurus talks about, hold on real quick. I just feel like it's a little blurry. There we go, yay. Okay, so Taurus talks about abundance, or they want abundance, they want stability, and this card gives me that. So I feel like this year, your main goal is you're focusing on your stability and your abundance. This year is going to be fruitful for you because of the things that you've been investing. Maybe last year there was a lot of things that in a garden, let's say, if last year, the year of the snake, was about shedding, you were able to get rid of it. So it's kind of like when you remove whatever is dead, you allow for the springtime to come and things start to grow. So I feel like with you, Taurus, this year you definitely are going to start to experience those things that you were investing in last year, that then now you're going to start seeing the benefits of it. And it could look like more stability, maybe like a home, or maybe more happiness within yourself, more income in your wallet or in your bank account. The things that you've invested in, maybe your project starts to actually grow traction. Things like that is what I'm seeing for the Taurus and the year of the fire horse. So just be mindful of those opportunities that could be coming towards you. And it's not that you have to say yes to everything, but be mindful. A king chooses and he makes the final decision. So he's going to make the final decision on what works for him. So know that about this energy. It is very, I feel like when I think of this card and like your energy, I don't feel like it's a very, combative, like card. I don't see anything that could be negative about this. The sky is yellow in the background. It's a beautiful day and you have all this greenery around you. So it's like even when you speak to plants, they grow better. Even when you water them more, they grow better. So it's like the things that you're doing now is actively you're putting in the effort and the time to create better outcomes for yourself. And that's what I feel like when I get this card for you, Taurus. So have a great year. This is going to be a good year for you guys, Taurus. Now, the Geminis are next. Let me get some chai in my system, because this is the only way I'm going to make it through this. Okay. Gemini. Gemini. Hold on, I'm trying to talk. There we go. I'm gonna make it through. We're gonna do this. Fire horse energy, we got this. Okay. So the year of the fire horse for Gemini. Year of the fire horse for Gemini. Let's go. What are we pulling out? What is coming out? All right. I got this one. It was in reverse. So, if you guys know me, I always like to read what the card is in reverse and then how we can get it to be the right side up, right? So, reverse. This year, Gemini, air sign. I feel like, again, kind of like with Aries, but not so much in like emotions, more so in how you respond to things, more so how you interact with things. I know Gemini sometimes can be very, how do you say it? Like I don't say they don't have grounding, they don't have a grounded mentality, but they have this ability to just kind of put themselves in all different type of ideas or all different types of stuff. Now, if it was a card of swords, it would be more a mindset, right? But this is a card of action with the wands. So what that tells me is this year is slow down as well. So you and the Aries, I feel like this year, whatever you guys need to do more so is slowing down, or there's like a slowing down, but not in a bad way, right? It's just cards. There's no like real negative things with this card. It's just talking about speed. This card honestly just talks about speed. And so here we have it right side up. So this is obviously going to be like a faster pace. So this year may seem a little slower to you guys in regards to action or things coming to be, but it's okay, because I know Geminis tend to think really quickly, really fast. Like they could be the wittiest people, they could be the sharpest people, which is a great like trade or a skill to have. But I feel like this year what it's telling you to do is like slow down and really work on the smaller things. Maybe there's some like loose ends that you need to tie up from last year, or things that you've been putting off. I feel like this is the time to say like slow down the action, slow down the amount of things that you have going on for yourself, so then that way you can complete those things. And then we can get to a place where now that you've caught up, now we can kind of resume schedule. So Gemini, I think this year is going to be a year where you start to slow down. Maybe you start to like actually settle down. You know, you move into like rested, more calmer energy. Maybe last year was very like fast paced, things are just going, things just happening. And this year, I think it's the year that you guys can actually say, I can take a breath, I can relax. And I think that's a positive thing as well. I know sometimes when people see like, oh, we're slowing down, like we think of traffic on the freeway, like, no, I need to get there by this time. But sometimes those things happen because it wants you to see something, wants you to learn something about yourself, wants you to grow in another direction that you may not have known that you needed. And I do feel like this year, Gemini, that could be a very stable thing that you add to your life, is to be able to slow down and connect to yourself. Okay? All right, Gemini. And that was for you guys. Cancer. I'm a Cancer. Okay, so the Cancers are next. Don't do me dirty. Divine, do not do me dirty. But this is for the collective. This is for everyone. I just feel like, what did I just say? Why? That's okay. I'm going to read it. This came out, right? So, Cancers, okay. We have a tendency to hold on to things. I can't help it. Okay, sometimes Cancer is okay. It's okay to let things go. I love my Cancers. I'm a Cancer too. But what I'm trying to say is, again, like I said before, I like to read what the card is in reverse, and then I like to read it right up, right? So in reverse, it's telling you that there is an ending that needs to happen, or something is coming to an end, but for some reason, there's something that's preventing it from coming to conclusion, right? So, Cancers, it's okay. When we let things go, there's always something that comes in that's better, that replaces it. And I'm speaking from the deepest part of my heart. Comes in and replaces it. And I know that's so hard to see sometimes, because you think about like all the time and all the pain and suffering I put and I endured. It made you stronger. So that way, when you know this is not for me, because number one, what's for me wouldn't challenge me this much, right? Number one. But if it does, it makes me stronger. So that way I know in the next time I could do better. I could be better. I see clearly now because I've gone through the pain and the suffering, right? So now when we read it like this, what that means is we've released it. So anytime the death card comes up, it talks about something coming to an end, and that is okay, because endings can be great, because endings allow for new beginnings. So this year, for the Cancers out there, you may have had something traumatic happen to you last year, maybe recently, like in the past couple months. I just feel like what it's telling you to do is this time in your life is a time to gain your traction. Let those things fall to the wayside. Let those things not serve, that if they don't serve you, why are they still there? And the reason why that sucks is because as time goes on, hold on. Are we even live? I'm gonna be mad if we're not live. Okay, we are live. Just checking, because I was like, hold on. My phone be tripping sometimes. But anyways, like I was saying, Cancers, you just need to get into that mindset that it's okay to let things go. I know that's hard, like I said. And as a Cancer, I do understand this. I get it. It's because, like, we have a tendency to, like, really look at things and want to, like, really nurture them and really want to grow. But it's okay to let things go. Because if you don't, you stay in this limbo of, like, pain for yourself. And is the pain really worth it? And I know Cancers at times, like, we can hold on to the pain for so long instead of just letting it go and living our lives and being the best versions of ourselves, instead of letting the people around us who don't see the value in us or the value we don't see in ourselves go to the wayside, so that way we can become great. And also too, I want to say this because this just kind of came in my mind. Cancers, we all know that if we hold stress, if we hold resentment, if we hold pain in our body, it actually shows up in our body in other ways. It could show up as, like, illnesses. It could show up as sicknesses, or, like, anything like that. And it's like you are shortening your lifespan by holding on sometimes to things that don't serve you. So let them die. Let them go, so that way you can then move and enjoy your life. Life that you only get it one time. If you believe in reincarnation, we'll talk about that. I believe, like, yes, in reincarnation, but in not the way that people talk about it. And so, anyways, but that's for Cancer. Moving on. They always trying to do me dirty. I'm gonna be mad if Leo gets something like so cool. So cool. I sound like Trump. So cool. But my voice is terrible. Okay. Let's go. Ooh. Okay. You got one that fell out and one that flipped over. Okay, let me check. Leo. Yeah. Okay, so you got the 5 of Cups, it was upright, and then you got this one, right? So, I mean, this one came out first. I saw this first. So we're gonna put this one first, and then we're gonna put this one after. Okay. So what I see when I look at this, right? Five of Cups talks about, like, again, things not going according to plan. Maybe, like, something happened and kind of like that Cancer energy that I just talked about, like you're sad. But behind you, you see that there's Cups, right? So Cups talks about emotions, talks about love, talks about like self-healing, things like that. So something happened recently to you, Leo, where you feel as though like regret or sadness, something that like you were banking on and the cups fell. You weren't happy about that. This person is wearing a black cloak, which is like mourning, which is like sadness, but behind them there's the cups, right? And in the background, I know everybody always talks about the cups, but in the background you see that there's a bridge, right? And that bridge is going to take him to where he needs to be, right? So it's kind of like he has his stability here, right? On the other side of the bridge is where he's standing. So it's kind of like, it gives me the impression that, I don't know, I'm picking up maybe that there's something about a long distance. That's like, I don't know, I just feel like long distance. And now we have somebody coming in with the cup. So having this energy is like mourning the loss of something, but then something coming in to then restore it. And that's a beautiful image, right? It's a beautiful image. It's almost as if though he didn't know that the two cups were behind him, and then he's coming in to replace that so that there's three for him still, even though the three fell. So I feel like what this is telling me is, I feel like there could be somebody that you meet this year that helps you pull through maybe a tough time that you've been going through in your life. Maybe this person could be a water sign, just saying. This person could be somebody around your age, and they pretty much have the ability to kind of help you to restore that love in yourself, or they want to give you love. They want to like boost you up, and it doesn't always have to be romantic, but like if it is, then it is. And I want to say, Leo, right now, what you have to understand is sometimes things, like I said with the death card for Cancer, sometimes things come to an end and we can mourn it, but we can move on from it too. So like if we were to be in this energy, my cups fell. I'm sad. It didn't work out. That's okay. I'm coming to replace it for you. And then after, the three cups can move on, right? It's almost like now you could turn around and move on with this energy. And I think that for Leo, I love Leos. I've always had really good relationships with them, talking to them. I think that has to do with the fact that I have a lot of fire in my place in my chart, actually, as a Cancer. So I've always felt like Leos are always genuine people, and whatever happened to you, like, I want to say I feel like you didn't deserve it, but from it there's a lesson. And with that, moving on for this year, your biggest thing is accepting what happened, but not letting it rock you, not letting it change you. So for Leos this year, I want you to work on that. There could have been something that like dwindled your flame in a sense. And I think that Leos, they usually are very bright, very vibrant from what I've experienced with Leos. I've never met like, people say it, people tell me like, oh, Leos be crazy. I've never experienced that. Like, I've never experienced that. I've always had like really good reports with Leos. And you guys are good people. So don't let this sadness take too much of your time this year. You guys got to get back to looking fine, being genuine, nice people, because that's been my experience with Leos, and move on. And that's the biggest thing that you guys have to focus on this year, okay? All right, so who's next? Who's next? It would be Virgo. Y'all Virgos be dirty. Leo, I've had always good experiences. If I was too close to a Virgo, I'm not saying I'm not hating, because there's Virgos that I know that are great. But there's some Virgos that I'm like, y'all be crazy. But we love it. I'm here for everybody out here. I'm here to support. Okay, so Virgos, what do you need to hear in the year of the fire horse? What does Virgo need to hear in the year of the fire horse? Okay, nothing has came out so far. Okay, you got this. So this card always gives me kind of like accomplishments behind it. It could be like a display of emotions. It could be like you reached a point of happiness. You reached a point of being fulfilled. And you're satisfied with what you have right now. That's what I'm feeling like. In this moment, this year is going to bring satisfaction to you and fulfillment. And it could be because in the cups we talk about with emotions and love, you start to get those fulfillments. Like you are putting fulfillment and satisfaction into the cups behind you. And that's what I'm picking up. So this year could be a year that talks about like how you can, in relationships, you can find a fulfillment in a relationship, or you can find satisfaction in your happiness right now. So Virgo, I think this year you will be in a better place than you were last year. The next card after this is 10, which would be the 10 of Cups. And that's like the next step. So I think right now in this year, you're in this mindset of like having fulfillment, being proud of where you are, and displaying those cups. I always see these as like, for this card, I always see them as trophies. So you will be in a place of like displaying the trophies, displaying your fulfillment, and being very proud of that. So I think that's your reading for this year in the fire horse energy. Okay, so Libra. Libra is next. Oh my gosh. I haven't even like shuffled. Give me the energy for Libra. In 2026, in the year of the fire horse, what can Libra expect? What does Libra need to work on this year? Let's see. Okay. You got King of Swords. And then you got the Knight of Pentacles, okay? So, honestly, King of Swords, we all know, that's another Thrones. Libra is an air sign, so this works with you. I think this is where you guys, kind of like in other readings where I talk about like Taurus coming up as the Pentacles. That's like a earth sign kind of thing. So this would be like an air sign. And I feel as though when I see the air sign in reverse for a Libra, that's very interesting because Libras tend to be very peaceful, usually very calm. They usually don't like confrontation. And I feel like with this card, it's like maybe there's been something that, like, I get two messages. I get, don't feed into the drama, you know, but then don't like allow this energy to throw you off your throne. Because when the King of Swords is this way, it's like a person who's very grounded. He's very like confident in his mind. And I feel like this is giving the opposite energy. And if it's something that you need to work on this year, Libra, it's telling you like to not allow yourself to be in this energy where you feel like you're thrown off mentally, or you're not clear. I get a sense of like confusion, and I get a sense of like instability, okay? And it could be maybe because of your finances. It could be maybe because of, you know, just, I'm getting like some type of deal or some type of expectation that came around money. You're disappointed, or it's throwing you off. And I think this year the biggest thing, what we need to do is obviously reverse these to be right, you know, being the King of Swords. So how do we do that? We basically keep our mind sharp, we don't allow other people's opinions to conclude what we think about ourselves. We take the time to educate ourselves and be resourceful with our elements that we have, the tools and things around us. And I feel like this year, Libra, what it's telling you to do is to get away from energies that make you feel this way. Like you can't be stable, or you can't be confident in yourself. And the reason why is because it's affecting your money. I think that's what it's telling me. You when you are around people who don't make you feel confident or clear about yourself or the path you want to take in your life, those people tend to take away your abundance. And that's just logic. But for the most part, Libra, I think that's the message this year, is putting yourself in a mindset where you surround yourself around people, not like yes men, but people who actually authentically want to get to know you for you and praise you for you. And Libras, I've always found, like, Libra people, they're, I feel like, to me, the most interesting one of the most interesting people of the zodiac signs, because I always felt like Libras always had like their own way about them. Like, they're not like anybody else. I know that for a fact. And so, and I don't mean like in patterns. People have some here and there patterns, but like in the way that they dress or in the way that they think, or just like it gives very like Aquarius energy sometimes. And I love that about Libras. They can be the ones that think outside the box. So like if you have this idea of something that you want to do, and you feel like when you go to tell people that idea, or when you go to, you want to start something that could be like a money adventure or money endeavor, something that you want to do, I feel like this year you shouldn't really focus on what people say. Yes, take into consideration, like if it's like starting a business and you have no money, like doing it the right way, that's where the education comes in. You sit on the throne, you take the time to invest in yourself mentally, that's where that's going to come up. And then from there, it's going to help you get to this, to start building your money. And it's not going to happen fast, because this horse in this knight in the Zodiac, I can't talk. This knight in the tarot is the slowest moving card. So something that you could be doing will happen, but it's going to take time. But the first thing you need to do is get yourself out of this energy and move yourself to this energy. And once this happens, then you can start moving into abundance and start working towards abundance. Okay? So, Libra, I want to say this year overall, stay away from people who tend to be judgmental. Or if you have like a judgmental way of thinking about yourself, you need to let that go. I would say that's the biggest thing. Stop doubting yourself. And it's so funny because the Libra is the scales, and sometimes maybe you feel unbalanced. If you stand on a certain part of the scale, it'll balance out, and that's the part of the scale you need to find that works for you. So then that way you have that balance in your life and you don't have instability. Okay. Okay. Scorpio. Hold on. It kind of came out, but it was a six of wands in reverse, which is like the card of victory. And then the sun in reverse. Okay, but they're just like going everywhere. So yeah, we'll count the sun in reverse. And then it was, yeah, we'll just count it. It did come out. Okay, so Scorpio, you got these two cards in reverse. Now, again, we'll say like, oh, the sun's in reverse. Yes, but the sun is not a bad card, even in reverse. And in victory, with the Six of Wands, we could break that down. So when I see the Six of Wands in reverse, upright, it talks about like victory. It talks about like being praised. It talks about like winning, acknowledgement, all of those things. It's in reverse. So what that tells me is this is what you want this year, is you want to be praised and acknowledged. But right now you don't feel that way. And you don't feel that way because the sun is not on your side. So it could be like, I'm getting like there's some type of warmth that you're not feeling anymore. Is it because, I don't know, then there's a child here too. So, this is a deep one. Okay, Scorpio, do you feel like, there's a couple messages coming in. I'm getting in, like, from childhood you wanted to be praised. I'm getting in that, like, there's something about children, or maybe like you trying for children and it didn't work. I'm getting like there's all these different things coming in that comes with this. Even down to like you wanted to be, I'm getting like even for sometimes people who are in relationships that have kids, maybe that person has a kid and that person, you know, you want to get the validation or something. And then children, I'm seeing something like that. So even though I'm picking up on that, how this pertains to you is I feel as though for you, Scorpio, there's something like your inner child. That's what I'm picking up on. Inner child wants to be noticed and seen. So again, how do we flip that? So we work on our inner child. We work on the things that we experience in our childhood. So that way we can bring light to that, right? We can exonerate, we can exalt, I guess you could say, that child that was within us that didn't get that. We start giving it to ourselves. So then once we start changing the perspective of like, maybe I don't feel confident or I don't deserve that, like you start saying, yes, I do deserve that. I deserve to be happy. I deserve to have abundance. I deserve to have people around me who support me. I deserve to have people who want to see me win, kind of things like that. And it starts off with you doing the work on yourself. So Scorpio, I think this year your main lesson is to work on your inner child, work on the things that that you've been suppressing, work on the things that you feel as though like you can't be yourself on. You know, this year I told myself, like even with me doing tarot, I've suppressed this for so long. I've been doing tarot almost like now 10 years. And it's been just something I've always been attracted to, always been interested in. But this year I told myself, like, I'm tired of hiding who I am or what I like for the comfort of other people that don't do anything for me. You know? I heard somebody say, they're like, oh, everybody has buttholes and they have to wipe it. I don't know, it was like some weird, like everybody has a butthole and like everybody, how's it go? Opinions are like assholes or like asses or buttholes. Everybody has them. It's just like, it was like that. Like if I can, I'm butchering it. It was my, one of my friends who's a Capricorn, go figure, a Capricorn would totally say that. But yeah, ultimately, I think that's the message for Scorpio this year is that you guys need to work on the things that you've experienced in your childhood that maybe created this mindset or this feeling of like never getting what you want or what you deserve, and then healing that. So then that way when it comes to you, it can actually be like something abundant or something like worth it for you, because now you see yourself as this way, so then that way everybody else starts to see you that way. So that's what I would say for you guys to work on this year, is like your inner child, Scorpio. Okay, just making sure I did everybody. We did Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo. I did Libra. Okay, so then Sagittarius, Sagittarius, Aquarius, and then Pisces. Yeah. Oh, Capricorn. I just did. So we're doing Sagittarius now. So before I get into it, if you guys are wondering why I have like jewelry behind me, so I also have a salon that I do lashes, and in between when I have time, I have a little space here where I set up, and I also do permanent jewelry. So I like to have different businesses. I'm just like a businesspreneur, however you call it. So this is my chained me forever, chainedmeforever.com, or my Instagram. And then my other one is London's Beauty Studio, And you can find that on Instagram too, where I do lashes and I do services for people in the Fontana area. Anyways, here we go. So for Sagittarius, you guys got the victory card. Okay, so this card came out for you guys. So Sagittarius, you guys are embodying a whole different type of energy. You guys are basking in it. This year, people are going to notice you. People are going to praise you. People are going to believe in you. And that's a good feeling, because although I do know that Sagittarius people can be very fun, very optimistic, a lot of people don't realize that, like, as quickly as a Sagittarius says, like, oh, I don't give a fuck, I'm done, you know, they'll say stuff like that. But deep down, it really does hurt the Sagittarius. And they could put on this front, right? They could put on this front that they're not bothered, it doesn't bother them, whatever. But it does. And I feel like you guys are starting to understand that you don't need that. Like, I can be around people, and that's the beauty about a Sagittarius. Like, they will feel that way, but nobody would know. And they'll move on. And they'll just move to people who, like, understand them and respect them, because they respect themselves. And that's the energy that I see from a lot of Sagittarius people. It's kind of like, oh, hell no. Bye. And they just go like that. So Sagittarius people, and as a Cancer, that's something that I'm learning, because my moon is in Sagittarius, like I said. So I experienced it with the Cancer sun, and then I learned a lesson with the Sagittarius moon. It never fails. But for the most part, Sagittarius, you guys are looking very good this year. You guys are looking like people who got their shit together. You know, you sit on your high horse, you got your nice outfit. Everybody's like, dang, who's that? Who's that Sagittarius? And that's a good look this year. That's powerful. We don't have to sit on a throne to have this power, right? You don't have to. You have it within yourself. And that's what this card is telling me, Sagittarius, is that you're very magnetizing, very magnetic this year. And that's a good look. So Sagittarius, you guys, like, this is a good card. Channel it. This will be your year. Okay? Anything you set your mind to this year, that's what I'm hearing, is you can achieve it. So this is the year to, like, duh. It's the year of the horse. You guys are horse people. You guys are like half horse. This is your year to run, Sagittarius. And a horse on fire? That sounds like a Sagittarius to me. This is the year of the Sagittarius. I can't wait. My moon is so happy. My Sag moon is so happy, you guys. You don't understand. Okay, Capricorn. Capricorn. This is okay. This is good. This is the moment, Capricorn, that you tell yourself enough is enough. So something happened last year. And when I say last year, we know that the year of the horse starts today. Today is the 17th. So anything from yesterday and beyond, right? You are moving away from it, and that's beautiful. It is I'm taking my shit and I'm getting the fuck up out of here. And I'm moving to something that's gonna better serve me. And that's great. The reason why this is such a good card to get, because it's really like the idea of a door closing. That whole, like, we're talking about the fire horse and the snake energy was before. You're the snake. There was something in your mind that you knew that I can't continue. And it's almost like, if you think about what goes into actually getting in a boat and leaving, there's preparation there. It's not like, oh, just run to the boat and we're out of here, right? This is something that you've been contemplating. The Swords talks about the mind. This is something that's been on your mind for some time, and there's been something that you've been kind of like struggling with mentally, and you know you need to leave, but for some reason you haven't. Or maybe you felt like you weren't ready yet to leave. Well, I'm letting you know, like, officially now, you are ready to leave, and you're ready to go find something that serves you better, which is beautiful. Because Capricorn, you guys, like I said, you know, I like to talk about The reason why we have certain animals describing us as our zodiac signs. The goat is always going to climb the mountain. They're always going to make it somehow. They can stumble, but they'll get back up and keep going. And I see this energy with you. And don't look at it as I'm leaving because I failed. Look at it as I'm leaving because I learned the lesson and now I get to move on with my life. I learned myself. I learned something about myself in this interaction. That's why the swords are there. It's talking about mentality. Your mentality of leaving was because you evolved your mind. And because of that, now you mentally are choosing things that are going to serve you better, that are more aligned with you. And that is a win, because to be able to learn yourself is such a positive thing. If you stay in environments that keep you in a small box, you will never know what it's like to expand. And this card is giving expansion for Capricorn. You guys are expanding this year. You could be expanding your mental. You could be expanding location-wise. I do see like a relocation. There's a moving. So I do feel like there's something that you are going to do this year that is going to be along the lines of like moving, whether it be mentally, like moving away from old ways of thinking, or you're going to actually physically move to a place that is more suitable for what you need. That could be like for Capricorn to like closer to work, or it could be something that like makes financially more logic. You're letting go of the things, this turbulence, this stress. You're moving to something that's going to be more stable for you. And I see that for you guys this year, Capricorn. So that's a good thing. I like that for you guys. And what that tells me is that this year is the year where you guys are really focusing on what it is you want. So the action is relocating this year. And after the relocating comes the settling in. So I'm just kind of looking past the year of the horse and into the next element. That tells me that following year is going to be the year that you start to really ground yourself. So this year is a year of like maybe redefining what you want to be. I love that for you guys, Capricorn. Okay, Aquarius is next. Let me just say that Capricorn read, like, I felt real channeling going on there. I felt like I was speaking to somebody, like, for reals. That one and the Libra one, too. Okay. I feel a little overstimulated. Let me just take a breath. Let me get some chai. Okay, I'm back. So, for Aquarius, again, you guys, my voice is like coming in and out. I just want to say that for if my voice is coming in and out. Aquarius, of course you would get this card, right? That sounds right. Although we know the star card is Aquarius, but like something about Aquarius is like having all the information in the world. This sits kind of right with me. So Aquarius, I'm getting a couple things. I know that you know, but sometimes what you know is not always black and white, right? There's sometimes in betweens on things. There's this ability to remove such strict standards of good and bad, because there's nuances in between the good and bad. There's mindset, there's perspective, there's reasoning. And Aquarius, I feel like, yes, this card is talking about having the time to learn. I feel like there's a learning aspect here that you guys need to embark on. And that's not wrong or not far-fetched from what you guys like. You guys like education. You guys like to know things. But I feel like when you guys are in a place of I feel like this card is telling you that you need to look into things a little bit deeper. It's this ability to like to see the deeper things in things, not just surface level. Let me pull out another one for that. Give me a clarifier. You guys get a clarifier. Alright, let's see. I need a clarifier for Aquarius for this reading. What is it that they need to know for 2026, the year of the fire horse? Nothing's coming out. Oh, there we go. Alright, you guys got this. The Knight of Cups, right? So yeah, I feel like, so in my experience with Aquarius people, I love Aquariuses as well. But it's weird. There's always like two different types of Aquarius I've always met. There's a very straight, serious, like, I follow the rules, you know, black and white. And then you have the ones that are like just, they just on another, like, we just vibe to a different music. Like, I love those Aquarius. Those are my favorite because they are so much fun. But then there's a side where it's like, okay, we need to take things a little bit more serious. And Aquarius, I'm having a hard time like really feeling anything here. So it's like, do you feel like guarded sometimes? Do you not feel emotionally like open and available to people? I think that's what you can work on this year, is like showing more compassion instead of being in this like guarded energy all the time, or like thinking you're above. I hate to say this, thinking that your mindset is above the way other people think. And that's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm like, I'm not really getting too much because it's like this mental, like, I don't connect. And I think that's the energy that you guys sometimes can have with people. And that's why people will say like, oh, Aquarius people are so aloof. But it's like, no, they're not aloof. They're just like really into their, like, you guys live in the mind. Your whole, like, your soul is in the mind versus throughout your body. And so this year, Aquarius, I think what it's telling you is to kind of like get off the throne, get out there, enjoy life, and experience satisfaction and abundance in the heart. I get like there's an Aquarius out there that maybe like isolated themselves in a sense. I don't see like hermit energy, where if you're isolating to gain perspective, you're isolating because you feel as though like nobody understands you because of this is who I am. You're so guarded. And I think that this year, if Aquarius can come out of that energy and really like put themselves into a place of like understanding, or trying to like make connections, not so much off a mental all the time, but like from like a heart, like, okay, I think that will be the biggest lesson that Aquarius needs to work on this year, is to put themselves into that mindset of like, not everybody is always going to be like living in their head. Like, you can't only have friendships with people who are logical thinkers, because you'll never learn what it's like to be somebody who thinks emotionally. It brings balance. And that's also too with the pillars. You know, you need to bring more balance in your life when it comes to that. Okay. So the last one is Pisces. And we've done all 12. Yay. Wow. Pisces, the way that card, I wish I was on camera. The way that card came out, it like did a whole, it like flipped out, right? And then it was like, it did like a whole tornado. You guys got this card. All right. Yeah, this card. Pisces, you are putting in the work. Something you're working on, and you've been working on it for some time, right? I feel like this year, Pisces, you're focusing on your bag. You're focusing on building your financial wealth, your abundance, your stability, but not like you're trying to gain property. I think it's like you putting, like, let's say you start a business and then you put that money to then, like, in time, you put that money to then supply like the next business. I see stuff like that, like it's more root based versus like structure based. And I think that's what you're doing this year is you're trying to work on your stability, but on a deeper sense. So then that way, from the ground up, you're able to build the stability and the foundation that you want for yourself. So Pisces this year, what I will say is, take your time and really do like all the thinking. And there's a level of like building up the skill set to be able to do this. So if there's like training that you need to invest in, do it the right way, because it can be very profitable. Don't do shortcuts is what I'm picking up on. This man has definitely had some years. So this is a skill or a trade that you've had for years, and it could finally be starting to pay off for you. That's what I'm picking up. I'm also picking up that if somebody were to take the time to invest into their skills, they'll be able to be successful in time. And I see that happening for you. For Pisces, I'd see like you're trying to, there's a castle in the background. He's trying to build his stability, his abundance, his foundation. And, I see like being focused. There's nothing distracting him. He doesn't have like birds in the background. The sky is like completely empty. There's nothing in the sky. So in his mind, he's like completely, how would you say, like his mind is completely like focused on what he's doing, which is building the craft, which is great. So I think this year, Pisces, the best thing that you can do is like clear your mind. Don't have all these other projects going on if needed. And I do feel like it's going to be productive for you is to take all your time and attention and focus on this business, this craft, because I do see it being profitable for you. I do see that it's going to get to a place where it's actually going to start to be able to grow, right? You see it growing. Like every time he's done, he puts it up. He puts it up. And then this is also giving me like, be wise on how you spend your money. I just heard that. Be wise on how you spend your money. Okay, this man is making the coins. He's not spending it. He's investing it. He's putting it here. It's not like he's leaving it on the floor. Yeah, that one's on the floor. Right? Yes. But it's going up. Everything is going up. He's putting himself in a place of growth in business. And the tree talks about growth too. So if you put your money to invest, that's what's going to be what helps you to grow. And that's what I'm picking up, Pisces, for you is like you need to save your money is what I'm hearing. I'm also hearing make smart financial decisions this year. Obviously, yes, but it's going to be so important this year that you do what you need to do when it comes to how you make your money. Some people could be going back to school, or some people can have a trade that they have not been taking seriously. This year you lock in and now you start to see the difference. So whatever that is, whatever it looks like for you guys, I think Pisces, you have the ability to really put in the effort and grow what this is that you've been working on. And it's going to be a good year for you. So Pisces, you're good. Okay, just don't get distracted. I think that's like the biggest thing. The sky was clear. There was nothing going on. There was nothing going on. Like you see cards that have like, let me show you one. Wow, because every card showing like something in the sky. Well, you guys get what I'm saying. Like this one. Look at the sky on that one. Like that's crazy energy, right? And this talks about like an argument. Maybe it's towards the end of the argument and you're looking back at the person, kind of reflecting. There's people who got really hurt from it, but you feel like you won. There's a part of you that feels like, well, was it too much? It's a whole bunch of things. But anyways, so the year of the fire horse, you guys, let's like close this message off with just saying a couple things. If you guys can really look how far you came, like the start of last year, I guess that would have been like February the 17th, 2025 is when the year of the snake started. From that point to today, if you could take the time to look back and really see how much you've changed. I'm a big person on journaling, and if it's like you're not a writer and you're a person who talks your ideas out, record yourself and like listen to yourself say those things. There's something so powerful about the voice and then being able to take our thoughts and then bring them out of our mind into the actual physical realm. And I want people to understand that a lot of things that happened last year, overall, hands down, it happened so that way you can become stronger. That year of the snake, man, whew, that was a tough year. But like physically shedding, like think of it, a snake has to shed his skin and he has no arms. Like that sounds like a mission already. That sounds like a struggle. So all year you're just kind of like uncomfortable, you're itchy, you're kind of like moving through, and then finally that last piece comes off and you're free. And that's what today is. The last piece has fallen off and now you're free, like the horse. And not only are you free, but you're on fire. That means you're moving. That means you're making plans, you're making moves, you're doing what needs to be done. And that's beautiful. That's beautiful energy to fall into next after such a tumultuous year for people. And I want you guys to understand, this year is your year. 2026 is going to be a good year and you can claim it. Like I said, even though the cards come out in reverse, we can always have the ability to change them to be upright. Okay? We always are in control of our own destiny. Okay? Tarot is just there to give you insight and give you perspective. But it doesn't say what's going to happen. It gives you the choice to choose what you want to happen. And I think that's a beautiful thing. So, okay, everyone. Ultimately, I'm going to be signing out. I've been talking now for like an hour. And my voice is like getting better, but it's going in and out. I love you guys, and please let me know if this resonated with you. I do have a YouTube channel. You can go check it out. It is Golden Moonchild Tarot on YouTube, and I also have Instagram and TikTok, same name. Give me a follow. I would really like to start going live on my TikTok and my YouTube, but it's saying because I just started, I need to get more followers. So if you are a follower of mine on Instagram, I would really appreciate it if you guys can go follow me on those platforms, and that way I'm able to do those things and reach other people. I just like to help. I want to help people gain insight, and sometimes we don't know what we need to do. I'm not somebody great, but I know that I want to help. And I want to make sure that people have the information they need to like really make grounded decisions that work for them. So enjoy today. Today is the first day of the year for the Chinese fire horse. So if you are running, run free this year, run on fire this year, do everything running and being on fire, except for Aries. You guys run, maybe gallop, not run. But yes, Aries, I love you guys. I just want you guys to like not rush into anything that could be a problem. But ultimately, yes, run, be free, be on fire, have passion, have goals, have a direction, you know, keep yourself aligned, keep yourself consistent, keep yourself on track, and whatever you have your mindset to, you got it. Okay, bye everyone.